Alright, before we do this video, I want you guys to like and subscribe. I've been getting a lot of support recently, and I really appreciate that. I want to try to get 500 subscribers by basically the end of the week. And yeah, that's all I want to say. Roll the intro.
The pain I've been changed, I'm a better man, I cannot be stopped. I keep my pace, it's a race, you can take my hand, rising to the top. I keep holding on, I'm standing strong, I'll show you what I've got. I keep forming bonds, it won't be long, I'm rising to the top.
Yeah, cause we rising to the top. Yeah, cause we're rising to the top. Keep on rising to the
Alright, so before we get really into it, I just want to say this is all 100% facts. If you don't agree, you're wrong. And that's about it. Alright, so first we have Jotaro. His awakening stupid OP. Not only does he have a really long range guard break, you can kind of easily perfect block it, but that shouldn't really matter if you're using it on someone's block. It's basically free damage. He has a star select which cancels anyone's moves and allows you to free combo, which is basically Okuyasu's pull on another level. His barrage already does 0.5 damage, which is insane. He has a beatdown, time stop, a combo extender. Yeah, there's no way he doesn't go in S tier. Now, Jotaro Part 4, on the other hand, I feel like... Oh my god. I think it goes to B, because his Koichi move's kind of like really hard to land, or his whole beatdown. His bearing barrage, his combo starter is all really good. And his time stop will always be really good. But everything else is whatever. And then Akira, man, he just for pure damage output that he does, he probably goes to A, because he's basically always in, no, not basically, he is always in amp, like full amp buff. And it's insane. He has a heal move. He has a full powered of his 5, which basically instantly guard breaks, like it's unfair. Now that already combos into his barrage. He has a pretty decent-ish grab, does a lot of damage, and his like ultimate move also really good. All those static orbs stun. You basically are playing Ring Around the Rosie with Akira when he plants those down. Next is Avdol. I wouldn't say it's anything too crazy, like really. Like sure, his Crossfire Hurricane combination is really good, but you can just not block it. Like that's the most damage he's gonna do, really. His barrage is really big. That's all he has going for him, really. But if he gets you into an M1 combo with his little 5 move, his circling fire projectile things, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna do a lot of damage, but getting it off is gonna be hard. That's why he's in C. Now Bruno is probably gonna have to go into B, like high B, because he has a bypass move up close. Bypass long range guard break. That's an A tier. He has a long range guard break that does hella damage, 28. He has a bypass move. I don't even know how much damage it does. And if he guard breaks you, he gets his beatdown off, which is already insane. And then he also has a projectile, a fast projectile guard break. So yeah, that's just an A tier. And now Dio is an S tier because of his time stop. Now it takes 20 damage to cancel. Some people can do that, especially if you're time stop, sorry, not time stop, but awakening battling. But if Dio gets his awakening first, especially with his new good move, his sign smash, it's good guard break. He can eat, if he gets his awakening first, it's basically a free stock. Like, and since stocks were reduced to 4, it's pretty unfair for you. Dio Brando's is gonna be an A because he has a one-shot combo and a way to get this one-shot combo off, which is a counter, which is insane. But the only problem is, no, this is S. Off of one M1 or counter, he can one-shot you with his freeze, zombies, M1 into barrage, and then eye laser. It's just as simple as that. It's just a one-shot. And then Doppio's mode actually got buffed recently. It's 3 time erasures now, so I'm gonna say it goes in B, because his guard break is perfect blockable. And it's really easy to predict, and you can hold block during his time erase now. It doesn't true stun you. But he does get 3 now, so it allows for more mix-ups. But even then, I'd say maybe a stock at most, maybe. And yeah, that's about it. It's really good at evading other time stops though. That's why he's at B. Now Fugo's is it's pretty really good. Like, if he didn't have lose control, he'd definitely be S. But since he has just that one slot that all these other people have that are useful, he goes at A. Even though he has a good guard break with his poison cloud, good combo center into barrage, also spawns a poison cloud, but it kind of works against each other. If you barrage, you can knock back out of the poison cloud, so I don't really see the point. But yeah, he goes an A because of that. For Ghiaccio's Awakening, he definitely goes up an S. Like, he has a really high damage combo based off of his AoE freeze that bypasses block. And I don't really need to say anything else. It just says he just does hella damage. His iceberg, even in base, is really hard to avoid. His ice skewers, you can come off your freeze, and just amazing. Giorno's is also an S tier because he can heal himself, which has iframes. He has a bypass stun, which is his heavy punch. His beatdown does, like, I think I reduced to 35 or 30. I don't know, but it does a lot of damage. And he has an instant projectile that goes through, like, gently weeps and wall and stuff that guard breaks, does 15 damage. So there's no way he's not going in S with a heal, amazing guard break, bypass combo starter, beat down, high damage barrage. No way. Jonathan, all awakenings are good. Like, don't get me wrong, but I made this tier down here for a reason. And Jonathan does insane amounts of damage in awakening. Like, if he guard breaks you with his little Scarlet punch move, he gets a one-shot off. But the thing is, you can just kind of run in one direction. It's like you don't have to fight him in his awakening, even though his zoom punch is really good. Now base is different. You can't really run away from him because if you're trying to chip him down and get him lower, he can heal. But it doesn't really matter in awakening because you can run out of his awakening. And he also doesn't have an evasive in his awakening, but he does in base, which kind of, in my opinion, makes his base, or sorry, awakening just way better. But it makes his base just way better than his awakening. So for that reason, he's going in worse than base. All right, so for young Joseph, his awakening is a solid D. Like, it's basically his base, which is it's really good for a base, but it's just not really good for an awakening. It's good, don't get me wrong, but like compared to these amazing awakenings, nah, I'm sorry. Asia Stone does like 40 damage, you can M1 into it, it's awesome. But that's if you can get an M1 off, which people usually run away from you in your awakening. In awakening versus awakening, you're probably losing. Josuke's awakening has always been top tier in 2v2s, but in 1v1s, I'd probably say it's about the same as young Joseph's. And his combo got nerfed because of barrage and lag, so you can't do barrage into your bearing shot into M1 into grab. You have to do barrage into bearing shot or barrage into M1s into grab now. So that's why he goes into D. Compared to all these other awakenings, he's probably not as good. Koichi's awakening, probably also C tier. He has a charge up guard break, which is never good for an awakening. Like just like how Jonathan's has a charge up guard break in awakening. Like you don't want that. It's not that good. It's really predictable. You can perfect block it, just like how you can perfect block Dio's Road Roller. But Koichi does have a really good 3 freeze, but it can't be cancelled, of course. But it has bigger damage, bigger range, everything, and a pretty raw, like a good defensive kit. Like if it's awakening versus awakening, Koichi's probably going to be really defensive and going to run out of your awakening really easily. And he also has a combo extend barrage, which is why I'm putting him up at C. Actually no, just because of his barrage alone, I'm going to put him up at B, because that stuff wow, just 15 M1s, barrage, 15 M1s into whatever other move. And yeah, he's gonna stay up there. Polnareff, the same concept as Dio, except No, that's it. And Polnareff got another move, so he's gonna stay in S. Larger than is it larger? I don't know, but it's pretty fast. It's faster than Dio's time stop, or it's the same. Either one, he's getting a ton of damage off. It's not a guaranteed kill at all if they're at full HP. But Awakening versus Awakening, you can play really defensive. Basically, Polnareff is like a more defensive version of Dio's. Yeah, that's about it. Just Polnareff's Awakening is just really solid because of his Silver Chariot Requiem and all the moves you can combo into it. And his Sword Leaf is good for exchanging or trading moves. Zeppelin's Awakening is in A just because of his Barrage or his Tornado doing 1.5 damage, which is already gives you a speed boost. You can go behind block or whatever. Doesn't guard break anymore, I think. Maybe an Awakening, I don't know. But either way, even if it doesn't guard break, it's still A. And his Barrage, you don't even have to dash or do anything into it. It just automatically combos into his Grab. And his Grab can combo into his Sendo. And his Sendo does 40 damage because it combos into each other. So you're basically doing a ton of HP off of a move. Not in ones, but a move. And that itself is just amazing. Now Caesar's Awakening is not anything amazing and like in anything besides TB2s. So he's probably gonna go down by Avdol. It's pretty good because of the guard break barrage. Or sorry, his cutters guard breaking now, doing good damage. His bubble storm, his grab that combos into bubble storm, or his cutters, all really good. His bubble lens is gigantic as well. Okuyasu's Awakening is also pretty decent, but also just not that decent. Actually no, Scrape is amazing in his Awakening because of his because of how fast and it does far more damage than it stuns. And you can basically just use Scrape, Angry Stomp, M1 into your grab, which is doing a stupid amount of damage. So for that reason, probably high B. Wamuu's Awakening is just, it's not that good. It's obviously a good Awakening, but compared to all these other Awakenings, it just can't live up to it. Its Wind Blast is pretty good, but like you just don't have to block against him in his Awakening unless you're worried about Rising Gale. But that's kind of a predictable move in my opinion. Hers Awakening, I think will always... No. Hers is a low A now because of how you could stack his base buff move with his Awakening. You can do so much damage with that. And I'm just going to skip over that because you probably already know a lot about Hers Awakening. And I'm going to move on to Kira's. Kira's got nerfed in a lot of ways, but it's still very, like, really, really good. So I'm going to put it probably still at A. Like, you still heal off Bites to Dust, does a lot of damage. You can cancel Bites to Dust with 15 damage now. Your grab does less damage, but you don't... All that doesn't really matter. You're doing a ton of damage. Your grab bypasses block as well. You're healing 25 HP, like I already said, from your Bites to Dust. You just have so much going on with his Awakening that makes him top tier. And then Stroheim, this dude's kind of crazy in Awakening. Like, an AoE stun that leads into basically his abominable Hellfire barrage with his machine gun, and that automatically combos into his other one. His German Science is the best or whatever. That's amazing. That just does too much damage, honestly. But everything else doesn't really get buffs, like his laser. His hand doesn't get damage buffs and such, so that's why it's not going higher. If those had damage buffs, those would probably be automatically A. Old Joseph, this is very, very opinionated, but I feel as, well, probably not. I think he has 100 to 0, but as I've heard, he has a fast Entangle, which now combo extends, and it's really easy to combo start with. His Hermit Purple does a ton of damage and hits all around you. Doesn't stun anymore like his base, but he doesn't really need to since you have that good Entangle now. And you have Hermit Purple Combo, which is a really fast 20 damage move, and Cold Heart, which is a really good guard break. I guess a good Koichi is kind of predictable to perfect block, in my eyes. But if you're using it while someone's already blocking, they're basically going to take 20 damage. And then Vanilla Ice's Awakening is just really good. Like, I'm going to put it at A tier since his 3 move does a lot of damage. And it's pretty easy to hit if you like kind of get down on where it's going to go. His 4 is like a super good Void Plow, if I'm remembering correctly, that is. He still has his M1 combo extended into his 2, which combo extends into more M1s into his Barrage, which his Barrage got more damage. It's just really good overall. Now, if you see this tier list, oh, I didn't even mention his iframe move that works like his 5 move. Similar to his 5 move. It has 15 damage and you can just press X again. It's almost instant. It's insane. Now, there's a lot of people in top tier. That's because a lot of Awakenings are top tier. And I just want to explain why they were good in this video. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you don't agree with something, you can either DM me on Discord or in the comments. Like, I'll probably respond to all the comments on this video based on if they're actually like an actual argument, not like this tier list is trash. But yeah, if you have any, like I just said, if you have any different opinions, then just put it in the comments. I'll respond with what my ideas is. And yeah, thank you for watching.
Anime thighs when she open up so wide, I got a twinkle in my eye. Asian pussy is so tight, I just really wanna pipe. Oh my gosh, she got them big ass titties, she's only 5.